Time to check in with Burlington Mayor Marianne Meed Ward for her weekly update. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Bob.
Where are we at with COVID numbers following the long weekend for Burlington?
Well, Halton has seen a bit of a spike, so nothing like we had in the first, second, or third waves, but we saw 33 new cases, Halton region-wide, 10 in Burlington. Halton Hills is still doing really well. They had 0. And then the balance divided between Milton and Oakville. So it's really important for people to continue to follow those health measures. Wear your mask, wash your hands, stay home if you're not feeling well, and stay 6 feet apart from those you don't live with. And get vaccinated. Make sure you get vaccinated. That's
like the mayor.
Job number 1, that's right.
Absolutely, because it is unsettling to see these small increases with the Delta variant taking off. Are there contingency plans for Burlington to try avoiding a lockdown in the fall?
Well, we are taking a slow approach to reopening. We have small groups of people where in-person is allowed by the province. We still are meeting remotely. So, calling in from the home office here. Our council meetings, our committee meetings in the fall are still going to be virtual. We're working on a plan to add public participation back, but that probably won't happen till October or later. So we are taking the slow, steady approach. And again, the most important thing people can do to avoid the next fourth wave and potential additional restrictions, we don't want to go backwards. Make sure you get your vaccination rate. And the province has set 75% of people double dosed to avoid restrictions. We're at 71 right now in Halton. So we're getting close.
So
but
close.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, got to get past that. Absolutely. Hey, coming up Monday, it's the International Day of the World's Indigenous Peoples. Is Burlington doing something to commemorate the day? I know you've set up a resource page for the community.
I have, yeah. We've been on a journey for some time in the city of Burlington, and so what my staff and my office have done is put together a page of resources, both internal and external, as well as all the activities and initiatives that the city has done. Or members of the community have done. So you can find some of the art installations, the Hope for Healing, the Red Dress installation would be there. You can find resources. You can take a free course from the University of Alberta. So my staff and myself are all signed up for that to learn more. There's a wealth of information there, including all of the occasions that the city has marked: flag raisings, flag lowerings, proclamations, and of course the next big event is September 30th, which is Orange Shirt Day. So we will be planning something for that.
Okay, and happy Heritage Week in Burlington. I know you're all about that. You're actually in the Heritage Committee, and I'm sure tons of stuff is planned.
We got lots of virtual activities, a few in person, but you can, for example, tune into a virtual hearth demonstration. So that's at our Ireland house. There's bike rides. There's lots of ways to find out more about the history of Burlington and all of its diversity. So check it out at the City of Burlington webpage.
Okay, tell us about the integrated mobility plan and how can people participate and give input.
So there are 5 discussion papers, so some light reading if you're on the beach or by your backyard pool this summer. Make sure you have a look at those. And there's a survey. We really want to find out what the lived experience of people, what is it like to get around? What would you value? And we're talking about alternatives to vehicular transportation. So not that, we know that will continue to be necessary. We need to provide for it, but looking at ways to enhance alternative forms of transportation, whether that's transit, whether that's cycling, walking, all of those are planned for. And so please tell us your thoughts and tell us what would make it easier for you to choose an alternative method to get around.
And speaking of that, you're looking for more data about drivers who park downtown?
We are. So we have had what we call little sensor pucks in all of the on-street parking for a number of years. It was one of the initiatives that we brought in when I was the downtown councillor. And what that did was allow us to find out how well used those spaces were, and also help us plan for, do we need more parking structures and where do we need them? Is it heavily used? as you might expect, Brant Street. But we had a different system in our parking lots. And so what we've decided is we need the sensors on all of the spaces in the parking lots as well. We used to track people coming in and out of the lots, and now we know we need to have a sensor in each of those. So that's what the initiative is all about. So we were counting the parking lots before, but the system wasn't as good as we wanted it to be. So we're putting those sensors in individual spaces. It will give us real-time data. We have signs already up throughout the downtown that direct people to where there's parking supply, and also tells you when it's full. So you're not driving around a parking lot looking for a space that doesn't exist. So all of that is coming. It'll be helpful for drivers, and it really helps us to make long-term planning investments for parking if we need to.
Yeah, that would help, because I've done that driving around Loop a few times. I didn't feel censored when coming and going from Kiora. It wasn't invasive, but...
That's good. That's the same place I go. Wow.
Looking good, by the way.
Can tell, Bob.
Hey, thanks for joining us. See you again next week. We got to check the Burlington forecast.